So back again. This is another in my series of the 6 ingredients to creating a really great dog. This is a companion that you are really going to enjoy. The ingredient for today is being prepared. This is even before you get your puppy home. This is looking ahead and going, what am I going to need before this puppy comes into my life? What am I going to need to supply for this puppy as needed, already there? Don't have to go and figure it out. So here are 3 of the sort of categories that you're going to look at before you bring your puppy home, or if you've got a puppy at home and you're a little bit overwhelmed, these are the 3 things that you need to address. First of all, puppy-proof your house. Go around and look around at floor level, furniture level, etc. And it's basically run your hands over your house if you need to. What can we get our mouth on? What can we pick up? Where can we wee? Are there objects that can be run off with? Basically, you're going to try to make sure that some little wild animal cannot get to the important things. This might mean that you have to fence off parts of your house. Baby gates are your friend. You can also buy an exercise pen. So these come in panels. They're either joined together sort of a concertina fashion, or they come in separate panels that you join together. Basically, you want something tall enough and sturdy enough to resist however big your puppy will be when they're half grown, so that they can't just knock it over or leap over it. So exercise bins are great for things that are bigger than doorways, like say you've got a really nice couch and you don't want your puppy to learn to jump up there, which they will do at some stage. So you can fence the couch off, and that will make sure that you don't have to be watching your couch 24/7 because you know the puppy can't get up there. So puppy-proof your house. The other thing is electrical wires that tend to run along next to our skirting boards and we forget about them. Puppies find those. Where do you store your footwear? Is it stored on the floor in the open? Well, that's got to change. So basically anything that you can prevent before it happens will help you raise a puppy that just doesn't do that. So kitchen, countertops, tabletops, if they never get access to them when they're going through that exploration phase in their development, they don't tend to think about them as they grow older. They're not an option. They're not a fun thing to do. So prevention is huge in raising puppies. So go and puppy-proof your house. Another category of things to prepare for before you get your puppy is all of your puppy service providers. So you should already have sussed out your local vets. Ask them lots of questions about how they handle dogs and puppies. Do they use fear-free methods in the back room? Do they know about that sort of stuff? Because you can have a perfectly confident puppy have a traumatic experience with vet nurses holding them down, and then you have a developing behaviour problem. Okay, that puppy's now afraid of people. So do suss out your vets. Also, what sort of training are you going to get? Do you need to book a puppy class before your puppy arrives? Because if you wait till after your puppy arrives and there isn't any available, well, that was you not planning ahead. So be aware that puppy classes quite often only accept puppies up to a few months old. After that, you cannot get your puppy into puppy class because they are too old to join. My puppy classes do allow for slightly older puppies, but just be aware of that issue and plan ahead. Also, what training methods do you want to use with your puppy? If you're going to have someone helping you with training, you need to know that their values align with your values. Is this the person that's going to strap a shock collar on and warm them up? Or is this someone who's actually done their research and knows what modern animal training should be? So do suss that out as well. So there's a bit of research involved here, isn't there? Which is, definitely why you should look into that before you have your puppy running around distracting you. What else? Food supply. Make sure that you find out from your breeder, wherever your puppies come from, what sort of food they eat. Now, I've been talking very, very much about puppies, but this applies to adult dogs too. All right, so before you go and pick up your rescue dog, you should have all this in place, including the puppy proofing, because you don't know what your rescue dog's environment has been and what bad habits they already have. So be prepared to fence them into smaller areas of your house to contain that bad behaviour, particularly in the first days. The first day particularly, and the first couple of weeks, you're going to need to monitor what sort of stuff they might do and prevent them from getting into any bad habits. Right, let me look at my list. I've got one more general puppy category or dog category. Both dogs, rescue dogs and puppies, will need a lot of your time when they first come into your home. It is generally a bad idea to bring them home after work, spend the weekend, and then go off to work on Monday morning as if it's just all normal. This really confuses a lot of new dogs because the first day you've got one routine, second day that routine is similar, and then it all goes out the window. So just be aware that it is much, much easier to transition your new family member to your household if you can plan several days off. During those several days, you'll introduce them to the idea of staying alone in a safe space. Do consult with a dog trainer about how to do that. Usually if you've got a really great rescue organisation, they will have someone on staff who can talk you through it. But basically you're getting them used to the idea of all the components of their normal day, which would include your work day when you are not there. Or if you're a retiree and you're home all the time, you still probably go out occasionally to the shops or wherever without the dog. So just be prepared that you need to teach them what they're supposed to do. They should be lying down, chewing something calmly. They should be able to cope with you leaving and coming back. Now, this goes back to support staff. Both puppies and adult dogs can develop separation anxiety or separation distress. This is beyond just a little whining for 5 minutes after you've left and then go have a nap. That's normal. This is the dog that does not settle. They are anxious the entire time that they are alone. That is something that requires a specialist trainer. So before you get your puppy or your adult dog, it's worth looking around and finding out who locally can support you and get you in touch with that sort of person to help you through. Because the earlier that you address any kind of behaviour issue in a new home, the much more quickly it can be resolved. So don't wait until a month later when the separation anxiety symptoms are off the scale and they're starting to eat the furniture to try and fix the problem. Do it on day one. The rescue says this dog really does not like being alone. Get them lined up before the dog comes home. So that's just a few little things to think about and consider before you bring your new housemate. What sort of things can you do to prepare? You want to make sure that they're coming into an environment that is set up to provide them with the most opportunities to behave well. So very little opportunities to do naughty things. So fencing, containment, make sure there's someone to watch them when they are not contained. Have your support people and your food and all that sort of stuff lined up. You know who they are, where they are, how to contact them. And basically, when you've got that first impression thing, make sure that that dog's got a really great first impression of your household. Support them in being a confident, happy dog, and that will help lead you in to having a confident, happy, fun to be with companion, rather than some horrible thing that you've got to deal with on a daily basis. You are actually trying to find a companion who is going to be a great dog. So put in a little bit of homework up front so that they transition over really nicely and they don't actually go on to develop any of those issues that can come from moving into a new home. So if you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm Mara from Dog Training Help. And you can reach me through social media, or if you want to get hold of me quickly, my phone number is 040 316 4748. Well, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you around on social media.